The artifact sat in the center of the Galactic Council's most secure analysis chamber, a crystalline cube no larger than a human fist, pulsing with soft, bioluminescent patterns that shifted like living poetry. For 3 standard cycles, the greatest minds in the known galaxy had studied it, prodded it, and ultimately failed to unlock its secrets. Dr. Isabella Chen leaned against the observation window, her reflection ghosting across the reinforced plexi-steel as she watched another team of Zetherian linguists wave their sensory appendages over the cube in elaborate patterns. The insectoid aliens were renowned across 47 star systems for their ability to decode any communication system, their compound eyes capable of perceiving 17 dimensions of linguistic structure simultaneously. "Still nothing?" Marcus Williams asked. Sliding up beside her with 2 cups of what passed for coffee on Station Nexus 7. The former Marine-turned-xenoarchaeologist had been assigned to the human delegation purely as a formality. After all, humanity had only joined the Galactic Council 15 years ago. What could they possibly contribute that species with millennia of spacefaring experience couldn't? "Still nothing," Isabella confirmed, accepting the cup gratefully. Chief Linguist Zarketh just declared it fundamentally incompatible with all known paradigms of information exchange. Through the chamber's speakers, Zarketh's translator rendered his clicking mandibles into flat standard. "This code is unbreakable. The mathematical complexity alone suggests a civilization operating on cognitive principles entirely alien to our understanding. We recommend sealing the artifact and abandoning this investigation." Isabella frowned. The artifact had been recovered from a derelict ship, drifting near the Orion Spur, its hull predating the oldest known spacefaring species by several million years. Whatever secrets it held could reshape their understanding of galactic history, or provide technology that would make humanity's precarious position among the stars more secure. Marcus stared at the cube, his brow furrowed in that particular way Isabella had learned to recognize. He wasn't thinking like a xenoarchaeologist anymore. He was thinking like a Marine who'd spent years in the field, improvising solutions with duct tape and desperation. "Can I ask a stupid question?" Marcus said suddenly. Isabella turned to him. "There are no stupid questions in xenoarchaeology. Did anyone try plugging it in?" The observation room fell silent. A Centauri diplomat's breathing apparatus wheezed in the quiet. A Draxian scholar's scales rippled with what might have been laughter or derision. Isabella had never quite learned to tell the difference. "I'm sorry, what?" Dr. Veltora, the council's head researcher, spoke through his translation device, his reptilian features twisting in confusion. Marcus gestured at the cube. "Plugging it in. Giving it power. You've all been treating it like a puzzle to decode, but what if it's just dead? Like a phone with a drained battery?" "The artifact generates its own bioluminescent patterns," Zarketh protested, mandibles clacking indignantly. "It clearly has an internal power source." "Those patterns could be residual," Isabella interjected, her scientific mind suddenly racing down the path Marcus had opened. "Capacitor discharge. We've seen it in old Earth electronics. They can hold a charge for decades after they're powered down, creating ghost images on displays." Veltora's tail twitched. "The human proposes we simply apply energy to an artifact we do not understand. The risk of damaging it, or worse, is probably lower than sealing it away forever because we're too scared to try the obvious," Marcus finished. "Look, I've seen this before. Not with ancient alien artifacts, sure, but with tech. Sometimes the most advanced solution is just turning it off and on again." Isabella was already moving toward the chamber's comm panel. "We should at least run simulations. Determine what kind of power source it might need, what spectrum of energy." "Or," Marcus said, pulling a universal adapter from his utility belt, "standard issue for human technical personnel, designed to interface with the bewildering variety of alien power systems throughout the station." We could just try it and see what happens. That is the most recklessly human suggestion I have ever heard, Veltora hissed. Thank you, Marcus replied cheerfully. 20 minutes later, after Isabella had run every scan she could think of to ensure they wouldn't accidentally create a singularity or trigger an ancient weapon system, they stood in the analysis chamber. The gallery above was packed with researchers and diplomats, watching with a mixture of anticipation and horror as Marcus approached the artifact. The adapter in his hand had 17 different connection types, calibrated to match everything from Draxian bio-neural networks to Centauri quantum cores. Marcus examined the cube carefully, turning it in the chamber's manipulation field, until... There! Isabella breathed, pointing to a barely visible indentation on one face. That could be a port. Marcus selected a connector, more from intuition than analysis, and carefully aligned it with the depression. The fit was perfect, as if the ancient architects had anticipated this exact moment across millions of years. Here goes nothing, Marcus muttered, and initiated the power transfer. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then the cube blazed with light, not the soft bioluminescence they'd observed before, but a brilliant cascade of colors that filled the chamber like liquid starlight. The patterns resolved into recognizable forms, stellar charts, chemical formulas, mathematical proofs so elegant that Isabella gasped aloud. And in the center of it all, rendered in a format that any species with visual perception could understand, was a simple message. System hibernation complete. Welcome users. Basic power restored. Please connect to full power source for complete data access. In the gallery above, Zarketh's translator failed to render the sound his mandibles made. Marcus grinned at Isabella. You know what your problem is. You think too much. And you, Isabella replied, unable to suppress her smile as she began documenting the flood of data. Don't think nearly enough. Somehow, it works. As the artifact continued to unfold its secrets, humanity's reputation in the Galactic Council shifted subtly but irrevocably. They might not have 17-dimensional linguistic perception or millennia of spacefaring experience, but sometimes, just sometimes, the solution to an impossible problem was asking if anyone had tried the simple thing first.